it was just this passion and this other kind of drive, and this camaraderie. I think something that I've learned is to be able to take a step back and see the bigger picture.
I think the sky's the limit for us.
We owe a lot to the guys that came here and started the games, and they showed people how to play, and it took a while, but now you see the players and they got skills, and this is because of the middle school passing, this is because of the high school.
What we did in those early days, what a lot of those guys did in those early days to try to get it into the schools, I think it's paid dividends, because I think if you look now in 2020, well, pre-COVID 2020, we've got rugby everywhere, middle school, high school, great weekend competitions, everybody loving it.
So it wasn't all, oh my God, we're working like slaves just to grow rugby. No, it wasn't that at all. It was fun. It was a challenge. It was an accomplishment.
That core of guys was responsible for a lot of the success that we had, in the 15s and in the 7s series. So in Asia. So, those guys have gotten old. So we need to replace those guys. And there's another group coming up, right? So we need to bring them in and kind of mentor them and get them to the same point. But yeah, we got lucky with that core group of guys, because they were very committed and they were very good players.
Just creating the relationships amongst the local community, and it's just like you said, we started with like me and Ryan, truth be told, and now we have all these kids playing in all these schools.
The level of skill, I was very happy and I think very capable to be coaching rugby in 2003, 4, and 5. Because I was teaching people how to ruck or how to scrummage, or don't pass forward, or there's no blocks, right? But now I think our level of play is such that you got to be a really, really top tier kind of coach to get all the nuance of the game, because our players are just that good.
Adversity is what rugby gives you, man.
Oh, there's always hurdles, Matt. I mean, look, there's major hurdle. Number one was funding.
It's all of that. Saying it since the beginning. We had facilities, we had fields. The government can just give us land. We have one field. Why not give us 2, 3 more? Have it every place.
Some secure form of, funding that we can actually utilize in different ways for men and women. And I think it starts with our government support.
It comes down to money. We're usually sending people that can afford a trip and not because they're the best person to go. And I mean, it is what it is on that end, but it would be a lot better if the players can actually focus and train for the task at hand and not have to worry about paying for their trip.
So if you just look at other sports that are successful for adults, looking at soccer, even women's football who have good numbers, they have clubs that they can go to in an off season. For rugby, it's you leave high school and then the next step is national or international rugby, and that's an intimidating step to take.
We are beyond the days where you could sort of play a game and then pick up a whistle and referee the next game, or just sort of put a jersey on and for one team and then switch over to the next team and sort of hang out and play with them.
There was never a shortage of rugby players. We could find players. You have a game, there's going to be guys who want to show up and want to play. Now it's hard to get anybody to show up and play a game of 15s. I think that's the biggest challenge. I think if there's more guys playing rugby on a regular basis here, we would get better, and then we can have a bigger player pool.
Adversity is to decide, right or left, straightforward. Always go forward.
When we're seeing kids on Guam get college scholarships or the opportunity to play collegiate rugby and collegiate sports, it's great, because it kind of just confirms what we have been doing and the effort that we've been investing, and their success is our success.
islanders, and we have an imagination, and it speaks on the field for ourselves.
There's an amount of heart that's immeasurable when it comes to our athletes. We compete with everything we have.
You know, it just amazes me when I used to see these young kids, how physical and how great at defense they are at tackling, and just fearless. My son's playing rugby in college at Dartmouth, and you know, he's going through other experiences that I didn't have, and you know, he's enjoying it.
I got to go watch Matthias Calvo play twice last year. You know, I was like, all right, I'm going to go up and watch him. And then they made it to the Ivy League Championship. I was like, oh, I'm not going to miss that one. You know, so I hop in the car, drive up the road a little bit, and I get to see one of our own who wasn't even born when the game was introduced on the island, playing Division I Ivy League rugby in the championship for the Ivy League conference. Was absolutely phenomenal.
I'm just amazed because the last 3 years has been a huge growth, I think, in terms of our collegiate players. I mean, like we sent almost 8 to 10 girls off island. So hopefully they come back, they participate, and I mean, just boosting the ranks at a young age. I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people.
So when we're talking about players coming up, they're coming up and they're seeing these people that are doing it on a bigger stage, you know, and I think it's just kind of showing that, like, hey man, there's an opportunity here.
Just to be able to make it onto the USA team, like as a little guy from Guam, like was huge for me. Here I was, this little kid from Guam, I still trying to make a name for myself. Got selected to play for USA to represent USA Rugby in Ireland. Being able to make it into that level, into that space where I was up against 70 of the best players from across the country at my age at the time, I was always reverting back to how would we play on Guam. Playing for the USA national team was one of the highlights of my life.
One of the pioneers in that regard is Zach Pangilinan.
For his side, top try scorer, in fact, for Houston. This one comes down the throat of Maximo de Archibald, Denver Barbarian legend, as he kicks over the top. Bounces up, soccer skills there from the Guam international. Still going, Pangilinan. Captain soccer and rugby for 2 different countries.
Zachary Pangilinan, born and raised on Guam. I've been playing rugby for about a solid 12 years, at least competitive rugby for 12 years. Yeah, man, and where I started was obviously on Guam in high school. The people who influenced me, had a big influence on me was, Rob Millay, Anthony Keenan, all the old soaks from that are affiliated with Guam Rugby Club. 2009, I did get to go for a couple tours with the USA team, but the big one happened on November 12th. I remember this. November 12th, 2012 was my first proper test cap, my first game with the USA team. So before that, when I did get the call, man, I was excited. It was an unreal feeling. I had to actually send the email to my coach saying, hey, I got this email. What does it mean? I actually sent it to Ryan Claros too. And he was like, what does it mean? He was like, dude, just go. And I just kept doing well. And so they finally called me back. And my first test was on the 12th against Tonga. I played fullback. I started at fullback and then I moved into 10.
It's just phenomenal to watch him trailblaze for many others to follow. Zach is a unique and outstanding example of what can be.
Running out into the lights and then just seeing the crowd of people, and it's just like, it's overwhelming, you know. Door of opportunity, it opens, walk right through that door and keep working hard. Don't ever give up. And if you think about giving up, just look at how far you've come.
there's something just special about being able to represent your own island, represent your home and your people, one of the tiniest parts of the world, go abroad and express yourself against another country and, you know, show what you got.
Guam drifting back, looking to reform. He gives it inside, and they're on the board with their first try of the weekend.
Representing the island and stuff, you know, that was kind of my dream growing up as an athlete, and playing all these sports was having an opportunity to do that.
Pick it up. Oh, and it's good to back in. Great play by Guam. Playing a great bit of rugby. Maybe they just said, and oh, he's offloaded again. Here we go. What's happening with this team? My gosh, they're looking good. They're looking extremely good. Well done to Guam. Great play, great clear out, and they've just made literally 3/4 of the field. Big Bollocking run, he's going for the try line. What an awesome try of the tournament that is. That is outstanding.
Getting a chance to represent Guam, my first go, it's just one of those moments that you gotta cherish for the rest of your life.
I'll tell you this, I brought dirt with me from Guam everywhere we went. I don't know how, I got it in some way, somehow. But every time we played on the field, especially Hong Kong, put that on the field. Just, we're here. It's gonna make me get emotional, but that's, you know.
Going to the international stage, competing against countries with millions of people. When they look at us, a lot of times we're underestimated.
3 Tagualta sisters in this squad didn't make it to Hong Kong. Straight hard running from Kitagua, and she gives it inside. And they're on the board with their first try of the weekend. Good work by Guam. And a marked improvement.
I really consider rugby one of the main pillars in my life. It's brought me around the world. It's brought me friendships that I will have for the rest of my life.
As the final siren goes for this pool game, Guam is on the charge. Guam, it's their number 1. Can they put some more points on the board? It's Olivia Elliott. Olivia Elliott. Elliott is in for a try.
When you're on a rugby field playing a game with 15 other guys who are willing to sacrifice their body, I mean, it's you gain a different level of friendship with those guys that will carry on.
Rugby's had a huge impact in my life. I mean, and it's nothing but positive. Being able to coach kids and know kids and meet them and help them achieve, you know, their goals. It's just really it's just real special.
The sport of rugby has impacted my life in a very positive manner. It's built a brotherhood for me, folks that I call brothers, that I will have for the rest of my life.
I wouldn't be the person I am without having played rugby for Guam, having coached rugby for Guam, and then having been involved with Guam Rugby. I just wouldn't be the same person.
The passion and the pride, which was something that sort of caught my eye. But if you can continue on and say, hey, I'm representing my people, the land I'm from, and also the future generations.
I don't see why both men's and women's team from Guam, right, can actually finish top in the Sevens trophy and then qualify for the series.
These playoff games, they've tried a good step on number 5. Whoa! She left the defense standing still. It looked like they were looking for parking. Great job by Guam's number 5, Yolanda Garcia.
The body types and the physicality and the rugby IQ of the Guam, of what I've seen so far of the Guam players, I think that you guys definitely have the ability to be top contenders within Asia in the next 5 to 10 years.
There is a community aspect to this game that is second to none of any other game. I'm not joking, man. Just about everything good in my life has got some connection to rugby.
Ache and pain. Oh my God, I'm damaged. You know what I mean? But the love of the game.